So what advice would you have to kind of students maybe looking to potentially get into academia?
The biggest advice that I give anybody that wants to go to academia, or honestly anybody that wants to go to graduate school, is to work backwards from your graduate school application. So you're applying for grad school your senior year of college, typically, so usually during the fall semester of your senior year. The other thing that I would say, and this is maybe especially field specific for being in computer engineering and computer science like I am, there's a lot of people that think that unless you've published a bunch of papers or had a tremendous amount of research experience in undergrad, you have no hope of getting into grad school. And that's not true. There might be some subfields where there's a lot of people that have gotten into research in undergrad and have really done a lot of work and are therefore applying to grad school with a bunch of stuff on their resume already. But most people aren't, and we know that. I'm looking for, when I'm looking at a grad school applicant, I'm looking for students who sound motivated, who seem like they're excited about doing research and want to learn. And if I can get that from a combination of their statement of purpose and especially their recommendation letters, then that's what I would want to do. That's what I'm looking for. Now, once you get to graduate school, you're not done on that path to academia. There's a lot of steps there too. And I think one important thing to understand is what the trade-offs are between being in academia and being in industry. And the thing I love about being in academia is really two things. One, I have a tremendous amount of flexibility and freedom. I can work on the problems that I want to work on, kind of at the pace that I want to work on them. And that's a ton of fun, right? I tell people that one of the reasons that I really like being in academia is that when I get bored of working on something, I can stop and I can go find something else to work on. It's not something, that's not a luxury you have when you're out in the real world. But the other reason I love being in academia is I love working with students, both teaching them in classes and working with them on research. And that's not an opportunity you get a lot of in industry. So identify what you want out of an academic job before you decide you want to do it. And again, in the same way that planning for grad school involves thinking about it a little bit earlier than you might expect, planning for academia also involves thinking about it a little earlier than you might expect. You want to start, make sure that you are setting yourself up in terms of the people that you meet at conferences, the people that you network with, the kinds of projects that you're working on, so that when the time comes to try to get into academia, you have a really good profile. All that being said, there's a huge amount of luck.
Sure. As with everything.
As with everything. And so, by the way, if anybody's listening to this and they're like, man, I wanted to do academia and it just didn't click, it does not say anything about who you are. It's there's just tons of contingency involved.